All right, so in today's video, we're going to talk about the New York Yankees. Not a good start to the season for them so far. It's just not been a good start to the season at all for this Yankees team. So that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. But before I get into this video, 70% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. So get your life together, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like on this video. Subscribe, turn notifications, and leave a like on this video. So the Yankees did not play at all yesterday, and they have a 5-7 record right now. They are tied for fourth place with the Rays. So this Yankees team has not had a good start, and this comes to the offseason. The offseason was not bad for this Yankees team, considering that they re-signed DJ LeMahieu, Jamison Tyne. They picked up Corey Kluber, but Jamison Tyne and Corey Kluber were risk this offseason. Garrett Cole is the only sure thing in this rotation, if we're being honest. And he's getting paid like he's supposed to be the ace of this rotation. And he's pitched like an ace. He is a very good pitcher, for in substance or not, regardless. But this team has made some stupid moves. Yes, Brian Cashman, a lot of people say he's one of the best front office. They've done a good front office job. And frankly, over the last 10 seasons, they have not made it to a World Series, which for Yankees, what's the word? Expectations. That's not usually what it is. So like they notoriously have not done much at the trade deadline, and they need to do something at the trade deadline. That's the thing. I didn't hate the idea of bringing Jamison Tyne and Corey Kluber in, but I think that Brian Cashman was kind of in this idea that Corey Kluber was going to be the same pitcher that he was in Cleveland, where he won multiple Cy Young awards, and it's just simply not true. He's not that pitcher. He showed that this year. And as far as the Yankees, they're a good team right now, and they're set up pretty well for the future with prospects like Jason Dominguez, who's going to be up in 2024. He's a really high prospect. You've also got Deivi Garcia, who they sent down, which Deivi Garcia is not going to make an impact in the playoffs. And at the end of the day, what the Yankees want is a World Series. Clark Schmidt is injured right now, I'm pretty sure. Overall, like, they have a pretty decent farm system. It's just the fact that they're in a win now phase, and at one point they're going to have to. Some of these assets that they have in their farm system are just going to have to be moved for players, and they need to be solid players, obviously. But one mistake that they've made over the last few seasons is trading for Giancarlo Stanton. Now, a lot of people were ripping the Marlins when this trade initially happened, and I don't think it's looked to be that bad of a trade now, considering the fact that Giancarlo Stanton cannot stay healthy, getting paid a huge contract. I think he is getting paid 13 years worth $325 million. He'll be getting paid $29 million this year. You've got Garrett Cole on a big contract. That's probably worth it. DJ LeMahieu, you got on a pretty cheap contract. Aaron Hicks, though, $10 million a year. I don't know about that one at all. But this Yankees team has made some stupid decisions. They've overpaid for a lot of players. Some of those players got off their books last year. A.K.A. James Paxton. Some of those bad contracts got off their books. But this Yankees team, they haven't had the easiest schedule to start off the season. They've had to play the Blue Jays, the Rays, the Blue Jays. They have to play the Rays and the Braves to come up, who both are kind of off to slow starts, even though that's mainly for the Rays because they've already played a lot of good teams, and for the Braves, kind of same thing. But they've got to play Cleveland, who's winning the AL Central right now. Like, they are not in the they've got to catch these players in for something here at the deadline. So some options here at the deadline. I don't think Luis Castillo has been moved. He's been terrible so far this season, but I still don't think he's going to be moved, and I don't think they're really willing to give up Gleyber Torres, especially how bad he's been so far this season. But besides Garrett Cole, it's questionable, very questionable. A player that a lot of people would look at here is German Marquez from the Colorado Rockies, who has been very solid in Coors Field. What could he do in Yankee Stadium? Now, Yankee Stadium is not preferably good for pitchers at all either, but he could be better there. German Marquez. Sonny Gray, before the season, was looked at an option for the Yankees maybe coming back. The Yankees fans were not a big fan of him. Another option that could be looked at here is Max Scherzer from the Washington Nationals. They've had a terrible start to the season. But here's the thing with the Nationals. Like, if you trade for Max Scherzer, you're going to have to give up assets, for one. Who will that be? I don't necessarily know. But at the end of the day, you have got to, if you trade for Max Scherzer, you really have to think that you are the favorites to go to the World Series or win the World Series this year. That's just facts because Max Scherzer is on a 1-year contract, and I don't really think that the Yankees can afford to pay him the money that he's going to want and the money that he deserves. Now, this Yankees team is in an interesting spot because there's a lot of starting pitchers, but there's also a lot of teams that need starting pitchers so far this season. Like, the starting pitching has just not been good for many teams at all this season, honestly, if I'm being honest. So let's go ahead and look at the team pitching stats for the Yankees. They're currently ranked 10th. Their pitching staff has a 5-7 record with a 3.33 ERA. So not very good. But the thing is, everybody else's pitching sucks this year as well. Everybody else is going to be wanting starting pitching this year. That's simple. And the Yankees may not be at the top of the list. The Yankees are in a big market where they can get some of these top free agents in 2021 or 2022 is what I meant. They can get some of these top free agents. They don't need a shortstop. I look at this team and I kind of think this team needs some better defense because fielding defensively is just not their strong suits. Let's go ahead and look at where they rank. Fielding wise, obviously fielding is not the biggest thing, but you also have to field baseballs. They're ranked 22nd in all of baseball right now. Not very good. Especially considering you have Gary Sanchez behind the plate. I think they're going to have to eventually make a tough decision on Gary Sanchez. And I personally vote for Gary Sanchez to be traded because I'm not a big fan of Gary Sanchez at all. The power obviously is there when it does happen. But he's so bad defensively. 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, and a 265 batting average so far this year. He is just so bad defensively. If Giancarlo Stanton wasn't there, then he could be a DH, but that's just not really the situation. He's in a very tough situation. And, you've got to evaluate some of these players here and make some tough decisions. Because if I'm thinking some positions of need, obviously, are starting pitching. You've got to get some kind of starting pitching. John Means in division could be an option. But you've got to get some kind of starting rotation if you want to actually compete. You don't have to have the best starters, and I understand maybe why you would have gone after Jamison Tyne and Corey Kluber, but Corey Kluber looks absolutely washed, and Jamison Tyne looks a little better, but he's definitely not a number 2 in a World Series type rotation. No. And this team has just got to be better. It's simple. Their hitting's got to be better as well. And their hitting is going to not take a very 231 batting average, 18th in the league right now with 13 home runs and 45 RBIs as a team. Oh, also, they have 102 strikeouts. Nice. This team is just not playing very well at all. And some of that comes down to their hitting. Their hitting's got to be better. Their hitting is what they rely on. With Judge Stanton, Judge has been good, but he's also been out at some games. 3.08 batting average, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs for him. Stanton 175 batting average, 1 home run and 9 RBIs. That is just not good. Oh, and 11 strikeouts, by the way. Gleyber Torres has been pretty bad. 220 batting average, 0 home runs, 1 RBI. Kyle Higashioka, been one of their best hitters. 400 batting average, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. That's pretty sad. So they're going to have to make some tough decisions. I know that Luke Voigt was kind of in some trade talks. I don't think that they're going to move him, even though he is very injury prone. I don't think they'll move him. But their offense has got to be better. And if I'm the GM right now, here's what I'm doing. I'm not trading for Max Scherzer. As good as Max Scherzer is, I don't know that this is the absolute year that we're winning the World Series if I am the GM of the Yankees. One team that I'm definitely calling about is the Colorado Rockies and German Marquez. You've also got to look at some other starting pitchers here. John Means is one. John Means is going to be harder to trade for considering it is in division. But if the Yankees are willing to give up a pretty decent offer for the Orioles, for what the Orioles are expecting, then you could definitely see a trade getting done. Another interesting candidate is Matt Boyd, but Matt Boyd is just not going to do it. Matt Boyd is not a number 2, not a number 3, not a number, maybe a number 4 on a World Series rotation. And that's at best, by the way. So some other teams that the Rangers don't really have anybody you would want. Let's see. Minnesota's been bad. They're in 5th place. I don't think they'll be trading anybody. Though, as far as in the NL, like I said, Nationals have been bad. Pirates have nobody that you would want. Somebody that I would be calling the Cubs phone about, considering how bad they've been so far, Kyle Hendricks. Kyle Hendricks is a number 2, number 3 in a World Series rotation. He's about a guaranteed thing that's going to be very good. That's about it. Like a lot of teams need starting pitching, and there is some good trade options out there. But at the end of the day, the Yankees have got to make some moves, and if they don't make some moves, I don't know what. I don't think Yankees fans are going to be too fond of Brian Cashman as their GM anymore, considering the fact that notoriously they have done nothing at the trade deadline. That's been the last couple of years or so, done nothing at the trade deadline, which is not going to work this year if they don't do anything at the trade deadline. The AL is wide open this year. Wide open. The Yankees could definitely win the AL this year. It's wide open. Like they're 3.5 games back already, which is not good. But it's a 162 game season, not a 60 game season. They're 4-6 in the last 10 as well. And these games versus Tampa Bay matter a lot because I think at the end of the day, Tampa Bay and New York is going to be fighting for this division, and they've already lost 2. They lost the series to the Rays just previously, like a week ago, and they have got to do better. And some starting pitching. If I was their GM, I'm trading for Kyle Hendricks. If I can possibly trade for Kyle Hendricks and they're not overvaluing him, then option A is Kyle Hendricks. If not, option B, German Marquez. But yeah, I mean, I think they need it. I would say that they may need to trade for both, honestly, because simply their rotation's bad. Like, it's not good at all. You've got Garrett Cole, who's a guaranteed number 1, but besides that, like, it's not much at all. Like, it's just not. Corey Kluber, you can't take 5 runs every start from him, considering your hitting is doing terrible right now. No, that's not going to work. Yeah, they've got to make some decisions, and I expect them to do nothing at the trade deadline. Just going off previous records, they don't do a lot at the trade deadline. So yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications. Because like I said, 70% of you that watch these videos and not subscribe. So get your life together, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like on this video. Subscribe, turn notifications, and leave a like. Thank you for watching, and peace.